Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about menstrual cups. Now, I have done a video on this before. I might have even done two, I can't remember. But anyway, excuse me. We got talking about the benefits of menstrual cups on keeping up with China. Her latest video. I'm caught. There we go. On her latest video. I'll link to her channel there, or one of those. I don't know which side it is. Is it Freddie or is it the cupboard? Anyway, yeah, she was talking about personal care and all this sort, and I said, have you ever considered a cup? And she didn't know much about them, so I said I would chuck a video up and we would go from there. So this is not my cup. No, this is my cup cleaner. We'll get to that in a minute. This is my cup. Okay, it's just been sterilised in boiling hot water. It's not hot, it's fine. I left it to cool, which is why it looks a bit like white, because it's just been boiled. It's silicone, okay? So, it's fine. It's fine to go inside your body. Now, my cup has these two little holes, one there and one the other side. Now, what that helps with is suction to the inside of your vagina. Okay, let's see how many times I can say vagina before YouTube cut me off. Anyway, now, this does not suck onto the bottom. If imagine that my rather fabulous nails today is my cervix. It does not go and sit there like that. That's not how it works, okay? Imagine that this toilet roll, inner tube, is your vagina, okay? What you do is you get your cup and you fold it before you put it in, okay? The most common one is the C fold, and the reason it's called the C fold is because you flatten it and you fold it in half, and there you've got a C, okay? That's the most common fold. If you want to know other folds, there are a bazillion and one videos out there that show you other folds, but this is probably the most common, okay? So here's your lovely and round vagina, look. And you're going to put it in, and then what it does is when you let go, it pops like that, and those little holes, you see, what a perfect fit. Do you know, I didn't even test this before I started. And those little holes suction it to the outside walls of your vagina, so that once it's in place, that ain't going anywhere, okay? I mean, I'm actually pulling on that and it doesn't want to come out. Right, so don't worry, I'll clean it again before it goes inside my body. So, most cups, when you buy them, have a stem coming off the bottom. And you'll probably find that about 80% of people tend to cut that stem off. I cut it off because my body, where the cup likes to sit, the end of the stem was poking me on the entrance to my vagina, and it was irritating and I found it most uncomfortable, so I cut my stem off. Other people prefer to leave it. Some cups have a different kind of stem. It's a marula, has like a ladder type. It's amazing. You should be able to wear this for approximately 12 hours. I take it out and I do what's called I dump, as in I empty it, I rinse it, and I put it back in when I get up in the morning. And I do it again before I go to bed, or sort of mid-evening-ish, okay? Because I get up about 7 a.m. and then I make sure that I empty it again about 7 p.m. On my second day, which is when I'm heavier, I will probably empty it again mid-afternoon, just so that I don't get any leakage. Now, tips and tricks. Also, yes, I deal with the menstrual cup with these. First and foremost, you are going to get blood on your hands. Okay? There's no two ways about it. Why are you squeamish? It is your blood. It is from your womb. It is menstrual blood. There's nothing wrong. It's perfectly safe. It washes off. Why do people freak out about this? Okay? I must admit, I have found that people who have had a baby tend to be a little less squeamish about this, because once you've gone through all of that, you just like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, you are going to get blood on your hands. So dealing with this in a public place is not advisable until you are 100% comfortable with using it. I do not remove and dump and reinsert in a public bathroom. I always do this at home. This is Future Sam telling you that, oh my God, there's a spot on my boob and I didn't even notice. What I forgot to mention is that you should be able to, provided you have no gastro type problems, you should be able to keep the cup in while there's no delicate way of saying this really, while taking care of bodily functions. Okay, so number one and number two, you should be able to pass a bowel movement without your cup moving. If you are straining to the point that you do what is called birthing your cup, which is actually when your muscles push your cup out without you meaning to, then there's something wrong with your bowels. Okay, you should be able to sit on the loo and have a bowel movement without it disrupting your cup. I forgot to mention that. I might add in more edits as I go. There are different cups. You can get cups smaller than this. You can get cups larger than this. The Marula cup is larger. The Marula XL is huge. But on average, you can keep this in for 10 to 12 hours. And if you have a normal flow, you should be able to keep it in for those 10 to 12 hours. If you have a heavier flow, hey, ladies, you know your flow, okay? Sorry, that wasn't inclusive. People, you know your flow. You know how long you can go for. Now you might be used to using tampons or pads, in which case you'll be like, oh, I'm really, really heavy. You may find that once you start using one of these, that your flow seems a lot lighter. There's actually chemicals and shit in tampons and pads that, the makeup of these disposable products does make it look like you bleed a lot more than you think you do. I don't even feel that in 12 hours. I maybe fill it about half, which is about 10, 15 mil max. I've only ever filled it a couple of times, and that was after my body skipped a period the following month. I then had a really, really heavy period. So, keep an eye on it, Secondly, you will need to practice. It is not a case of, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to insert it and Bob's your uncle. I'm a genius. This thing is going to piss you off. You are going to want to yeet this out of the window. You're going to want to throw it away. It is going to drive you crazy until you get it right. Until that moment when it goes in and it's done and you go, oh, that's how it works. It will drive you crazy. What else? Let me see. What else? My brain has just completely, I had something in my head and now it's completely gone. Yeah, you need to give it time, okay? If you're going to go out and buy one, I would look for a deal online that maybe does like some reusable pads as well. The reusable pads are great. They are exactly as they sound. You wash them in the washing machine, you wash the blood out, and then once they're dried, you can reuse them. They're fantastic. This one did come with a reusable pad. I got this one. It was a duo pack. I got a cup for me, a cup for my daughter, and they came with, I think it was 1 or 2 pads each. And the good thing about it is you can use the pad while you're trying to get used to this. You can use the pad on your lighter days where you might not necessarily bother with the cup and all of that lot. So how does it work? Right. Well, this is the entrance to your vagina. Okay, your vulva is all out here. Okay, so you're going to want to C-cup it. Now, how do you sit? Well, that's the other thing. I personally, I sit on the toilet. Okay, I sit on the toilet and I spread my legs right out. You may also find it easier to put one of your feet up on just a short step. You know those baby steps that you get for kids so that they can, get onto the toilet a lot easier and to get to wash their hands. One of them is just the right height. So, spread as far as you can possibly go. Put one foot up on this little baby step. Perfect position. You may prefer to stand. you can also do that. You may prefer to lie on the floor and do it. Hey, do you know what? However works for you to get the damn thing in until you're used to doing it, go with it. Do it your way, all right? Try the C-fold. It is the most easiest, okay? So what I do is I rinse it off, I C-fold it, and then I hold it like this. So I've got 2 fingers there. Let's try that again. I've had a couple of drinks, so yeah. So you've got 2 fingers there and you've got 1 finger there. Now this is hard silicone, that's why it pops. And you're going to feel that, trust me, you will feel that inside. So get your 2 fingers going, all right? You're sitting on the toilet and you are spread-eagled and ready to do this. Insert it pretty much as you would a tampon. So you are heading towards your lower back, yeah? Hint number 1, you want the fold to be pointing towards one of your hips. This is how I do it. So I hold it that way, okay, because obviously I'm going like this. So I hold it with my thumb on top and my fingers underneath with the C-fold heading towards my left hip. That's just my personal preference, okay? And I would have my right leg up on that little kiddie stool. It works a treat, okay? So you're going to, I'm going to hold it like this, all right? So it's pointing towards my left hip, all right? And then you want to push it because your body is, your vagina is naturally at that kind of angle, more towards your back than it doesn't sit like that. People think that it does, but it doesn't. It sits more to back. So aim the rim of the cup towards the small of your back, your lower back. Okay. So you're going to put it in, right? You're going to put it in with it sideways on, as far as you can. Right, now I can't push 3 fingers inside me very far, even though I've had 5 children. So what I tend to do is I tend to then let go. And I will keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And it tends to, because your vagina is usually quite tight, it tends to stay in its folded position. Okay, like that. It will stay like that in the womb. All right. Then what I do is I use my forefinger and I push it up. I personally like to go in as far as I can, like that. And I push it just beyond my pubic bone. Now, in the process of me putting in, it will turn so that the fold, okay, because as it opens, it will go from that. But as it opens, it ends up being like that. Now, this flat C part is towards my stomach, and the bend is basically lying against my colon. Okay, so it is that way up in my body, in that position. Okay, now what I do next is I put my finger on the bottom, right, where the stem is, okay, or where the stem would be. You can see there where I cut it off, that little circle. I put my finger on that and then I push down really, really hard. Now, if you've had children, you will know that as bearing down. If you've not had children, imagine you need to go for a really, really big bowel movement. Okay? Push down hard while holding it still. So these muscles are pushing it down, but you're holding it in place so that the cup doesn't move. And what this does is it helps move these muscles further down the cup, okay, so that they move that little bit more and they sort of encompass the cup like that. Yeah, so you will even feel them around your finger. You'll feel all the muscles go just down ever so slightly. Okay, now in that process you might well have, with the power of your fantastic vaginal muscles, have popped the cup open. Okay, so what I tend to do now is, right, ignore this finger, this is just holding the cup. What I tend to do now is I will slide a finger, usually up the side here, trying to get it so the light shows, and then I will run the finger along here to see if the cup has popped, and it's usually like that. What I do then is I push again, okay, with my muscles. I push again, and usually you will feel that pop. So you can see it staying because it's been held in that position. So give it a good push And then with this finger on the bottom of your cup, see that circle there? Put your finger back in and wiggle it backwards and forwards and around in a circle. Yeah? And you'll find that it's helped your cup pop open. And those little holes suction it to the walls of your vagina. Your cervix should be nowhere near it, because that hurts. If it suctions onto your cervix, it will hurt, and it should not hurt. Okay, but you can see it's nowhere near. This is my cervix here. It's nowhere near that, and it's in nice and far. You should not feel this once it is inside your body. Okay, you should not feel it poking out. Okay, you might, unlike me, prefer it lower down. I mean, I must admit, some mornings I get up and I'm like, I can't get hold of that, and I have to wait a bit. So I'll come down and I'll have a cup of tea and I'll wait for gravity to do its thing. Okay. So you may have the odd morning when you're like, fuck, I can't get hold of this. What do I do? Go away, stop thinking about it, and don't panic. All right. If you are at the leaking stage, stick a pad on. All right. Until you are used to this. It will sit there quite happily and should not move. You should not be able to feel it. It should not be uncomfortable or anything like that until you're ready to take it out. Okay, you might find you've got a little bit of discharge. That might be your warning that it's time to take it out and dump the blood. Okay, now the easiest way to do this is to stick your finger in. Now, if you have long nails, because people are going to be like, how the hell do you do that? This thing is, I'm not going to puncture this. Okay, now what I do is I put a finger in, and then as my nail hits it, it automatically just slides up the side of the cup. Okay. And then what I do is I run my finger around to break the suction of the cup all the way around. And then while I am holding it like that, I will bear down again. Okay. So I will bear down with my internal vaginal muscles and push the cup. And as the cup slowly starts to move downwards, because I am pushing, I can get a finger in that bottom ridge. I'll show you what I mean, because I'm going to push it out slightly so you can see it. You see that ridge there? Because the bottom of your cup is very, very thick silicone. Okay. And once you've, because I can't get my fingers in there to fold the bloody thing while it's inside me. There's no way in hell I'm going to manage that. But I managed to get a finger in there, and I use my finger to tug once I've got enough purchase. And then as it reaches the entrance of my vagina like that, I can then get hold of it with my thumb. And then as I take it out in this position, I will take it out and I will automatically pull it up towards my belly so that it empties straight into the toilet. Okay, so then I am in that position, pouring it down the toilet in front of my vagina with my legs spread all over the place. Now, I'm very lucky because my sink is right next to my toilet. So I literally stay sitting on the toilet while I rinse it out, clean it out, and then I just go straight back in and reinsert it. Now, you may not be that lucky, in which case you have to judge whether your flow is light enough that you can pull your underwear and your trousers and whatever up and go to the sink to rinse this. What do you do if you're in public? Some people use Femi wipes. Some people carry a bottle of water. I wouldn't want to be, and pour it straight down the toilet while cleaning it. I think I personally would prefer wipes. Some people just use toilet tissue. My only issue with that is, like I said, you're going to get blood on your hands, in which case you then have to leave the store and walk across to the sink with possibly bloody hands. This is why I don't deal with my cup in public. It stays in until I get home, unless I'm in one of those fabulous pay-to-get installs that have it all there and nobody's going to see you. That is pretty much how to insert and remove. Okay, so as you pull it out, it will be in this position, and it should look something like that. And then I literally allow it to open, and it goes like that. Okay, cleaning it. When I'm on my period, I rinse it, and that's it. I don't use any products, because you should not be inserting soap into your vagina, and it fucks with the pH balance. It will cause irritation, and Christ knows what else. You should not be putting soap or any kind of cleaning product inside your vagina. Some people believe you should use like a Femi wash or something like that. Or I'll tell you one thing that seems to be quite popular is a wash for sex toys. So if you have a lot of sex toys and you use a wash to wash them, you can wash this. Other people just boil it or stick it in a steam steriliser or something like that. Now, I was quite lucky when I bought my cup. It came with its own little cup. And what I do is I chuck that in there and then I fill it up so that water covers both, you know, covers this, fills it up and covers it entirely. So I fill it up to about sort of here, okay? Then I flop the lid over, I don't close it, and then I stick it in the microwave for about 5 minutes. And it boils away, cleans it, and then I take it out and I leave the lid on and I pour it over the sink like that to get it all empty, and then I just leave it upside down like that to drain off until it's cold enough for me to pick up. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Okay, is there anything I've forgotten? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything. But yeah, I mean, it can be hard to use if you're not used to it. Okay, and you may think, oh, for God's sake, I've been trying with this bloody thing for months and months and months. It took me about 3 months before I was confident that I can go bump, bump, and it's done. And I know it's done, and I'm not in the toilet every 5 minutes going, has it moved? Is it injured? And it was that putting the finger in and holding it in place while I bear down with my vaginal muscles that was my trick. Okay, then I give it a little wiggle with my finger just to make sure it's in place, and that is what keeps it in place for me. Okay, other people may do other things. All right, future me again. You can practice while not on your period. Okay, so you can put it in the morning and test whether it will stay, whether you've got it fitted in right without actually needing to be on your period. Okay, helpful hint that I forgot to mention earlier on is rinse it with water before you insert it. You may, if you're slightly uncomfortable about using it, you may want to maybe use a little bit of lube on the outside of the cup just to help it slide in that little bit easier. If you're tense or nervous, you're going to be clenched up like this, and it will make the whole insertion process that little bit more difficult. So use lube if you need to, or rinse it with water before you, because silicone it's squeaky, the kind of squeaky that makes your teeth itch, you know, and you may find it difficult if you are not actively bleeding, therefore damp. Yeah, you understand what I mean. So if you need to, you can practice with it while not on your period. Okay, I didn't. I waited until I got my period and ruined several pairs of underwear in the process. But, you know, you may be different. My daughter, she practiced. And, yeah, I mean, the first time I actually used it, I inserted it, my Lewis upstairs, bathroom's upstairs. And I went upstairs and I was like, oh, yeah, it's there we go. You know, it's that time of year, that time of the month, rather. And I inserted it. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was easy. By the time I got to the bottom of the stairs, it had moved all the way down and was basically sitting right there. It was bloody uncomfortable, and I had to turn around and go straight back upstairs and sort it out. So this is why I say you may want to practice before your cycle actually starts, just to see if you could get the hang of it, you know, or you may be more comfortable to say, do you know what, I'll just spend a couple of days at home messing around with this stupid thing while I'm actually on my period. It's entirely up to you, but just so that you know that option is there. Unlike tampons, it's okay to insert this while you're not actually on your period. Work out what works for you, what is most comfortable for you. Work out while you're at home, maybe over the Christmas period, on how long you can wear it for before it needs to cleaning out, emptying, whatever. You know, are you happy with just rinsing it? Do you want to do a proper wash on it? Everybody's different, okay? Everybody's different on what they prefer and what they don't. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope you found this informative, helpful, whatever. If you have any questions, whether you think they're dumb, stick them down below. No question is stupid when you don't know the answer, okay? I really hate that this kind of topic is not talked about, because menstruation is a thing. We all go through menstruation, okay? Well, you know, most of us do. If you were born female, chances are you will have menstruated at some point. Most of us have to deal with it for about 50 odd fucking years, and it annoys me that this is still a taboo subject, okay? So let's make menstruation normal. Let's discuss it. It is a normal bodily function, okay? So if you have any comments, any questions, anything you want advice on, please do leave it down below. If you don't want to leave it in a public comment section like it is down below, by all means, click my Linktree link, which is down there in the comments, and send me a PM. Start your PM with the word YouTube so that I know that it's you and that you've come here via that and that you're not spam, because otherwise it will just get ignored. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you have any, like I say, any feedback at all, do leave it down below or send me a PM. Feel free to subscribe, hit that little icon down in the corner and hit the bell, and you'll be notified when I upload new content. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you found this helpful. Have a fantastic rest of your day, no matter what it is that you're doing, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.